Just bear with me a second. It's loading up the Twitch. All right, that looks good. All right, let me share the screen. Bam. There we have it. Okay. Can you guys hear me now?
Yep.
All praises. Okay. So yeah, where is it? Last week. Yeah, last week we looked at Revelation chapter 10, from verse let's see. Well, we went from Revelation chapter 9 and arrived at Revelation. We went from Revelation 9:16 and arrived at Revelation 10:7 in our study. Okay, and we looked at uh how Esau is the golden cup in the Most High's hand that drunk the whole world. Looked at how in Revelation 9:16 to 19, it's basically talking about World War II and describing the aircraft in World War II and not a mythical beast, man, like Esau like to show us, right? Then we looked at how after World War II, verses 20 and 21 in Revelation 9 was talking about how after World War II, people didn't repent. They kept sinning against the Most High God, right? And we looked at how they kept sinning, and they kept sinning because really they were encouraged and tricked by Esau, right? The so-called European, the oppressor, to continue their sinning, man, because he teaches them that there's no such thing, that everybody has their own religion and philosophy, and there's 1,000 ways to God, and whatever you do is right. Chaos. That's what this guy promotes. So we looked at that last week. We also looked at the fact that uh, when you get to Revelation 10:6 and 7, uh, we pointed out the fact that it is the translation writes that there will be time no longer, okay? Once a certain event happens in prophecy. But we looked at the fact that it actually says there will no more be any delay. Okay, so Revelation 10:6 and 7 is showing that, hey, listen, the delay is done. The time is now um, for the seventh trumpet to blow. Okay, I'm not saying the time is actually now, but in the context of Revelation 10:6 to 7, it was saying that, hey, listen, at the time that the seventh trumpet blows, there will be no more delay. Okay, so it's not that time will stop all of a sudden and everyone freezes and I don't know, the Most High does some magical spell and then everything resets. That's not what's happening, right? But the delay is done and the time of the seventh trumpet will be here. And we back that up with Matthew 24, 14, which tells us that the gospel has to be preached to all tribes of the earth, meaning all 12 tribes, and then the end will come, which is backed up by 1 Corinthians 15, 51 to 52, which tells us exactly what happens during the last trumpet, which is the seventh trumpet. And during the seventh trumpet, we get our new bodies, we become spiritual beings, and we begin to take our world back. All right. So that's what we looked at last week. This week in chapter 4, we're going to continue on from Revelation 10, and we'll go from verse 8. All right, great. So let's see here. Ben, let's get verse 8 to 10. And then we'll break it all down, right? So before we get into this, I just want to warn you guys and kind of marvel a little bit at the fact that Revelation is the most dense book that I've seen in the Bible. Like you literally got to break down little phrases until you get the full meaning. And sometimes a little phrase will have like three, five, six, 10 scriptures to just understand the real meaning of that little phrase. So that's why really I can say myself has I have certainly delayed my like attacking the book of Revelation as far as understanding goes because it's so dense, it's so much work to understand the book of Revelation, right? But we're beginning to do it now, and many brothers who are more diligent than I have done breakdowns on the book of Revelation that I've certainly learned from. So this is a special book, and these secrets coming out of the book of Revelation are some of the top secrets in the Bible that may be known to man. So you guys are getting a really good food to eat on these Shabbats that we are looking at the book of Revelation, right? So with that, go ahead, Ben.
And the voice which I heard from heaven spake unto me again, and said, Go and take the little book which is open in the hand of the angel which standeth upon the sea and upon the earth. And I went unto the angel and said unto him, Give me the little book. And he said unto me, Take it and eat it up, and it shall make thy belly bitter, but it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey. And I took the little book out of the angel's hands and ate it up, and it was in my mouth as sweet as honey. And as soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter.
Right, my belly was bitter. Okay, so there's a lot going on here. First of all, it says, Hey, listen, the voice I heard from heaven spoke to me again. This was an angel speaking to John and said, Go and take the little book which is open in the hand of the angel which standeth upon the sea and upon the earth. So what is this little book that he told him to go and take? That's an easy one. You guys should know that.
The Bible?
Yeah, definitely the scriptures, man. The scrolls, right? In the book of Ezekiel, they're called flying scrolls. I believe in either 37 or 38. They're called flying scrolls, man, right? So the little book is the Bible. And then he goes ahead and tells him, eat the little book, right? And it'll make your belly bitter, but it's gonna be in your mouth sweet as honey. So what does that mean? Um, it means that when you eat this little book, it will grieve you, okay? It will irritate you. It'll make you angry, right? It'll make you long for a different reality, right? When you eat this book. All right, now let's prove that. We're going to the same scripture in the interlinear, right? The same Revelation 10:9, right? And we're looking for the meaning of a bitter belly, all right? We went to the angel saying, Give me the little scroll, all right? Right? And he says to me, Take and eat it, and it will make bitter. So pikrani, it will make bitter your stomach. So we're looking for 4087, pikrino. To make bitter, to embitter, to exasperate. This is a good one. Irritate, frustrate, okay? Annoy, madden, right? Inflame is a good one. Okay. Provoke is a good one. Um, make someone's blood boil. That's a good one, right? So why are the scriptures making your blood boil, right? Well, let's go to Ecclesiastes 7:7. right? Why is the scriptures making your blood boil? Ruth, Ruth,
Here.
read
Which one?
verse 7, please.
Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart.
Right. So surely oppression maketh a wise man mad. So why is your belly gonna be bitter? Why are you gonna be frustrated? Because of oppression, man. When you eat the scrolls, not literally eat, when you absorb, when you read, when you take in the scrolls, right? Um, when you eat the bread of life, right? If I want to put it, putting it in a metaphor that Yahawah used, when you eat his flesh, right, it's going to make you angry because you'll realize that the children of Israel been living under oppression, man, right? And it's gonna piss you off, man. This is why it tells you the patience and the faith of the saints is revenge in Revelation 13, verse 9 and verse 10. That's our whole thing we're waiting for the oppressor to get his payback, man. Because we're pissed that this guy did so much wickedness to our people, man. And is still doing it today, right? And we're mad that our people won't get it right. They don't want to get it right. They just want to they just want to live with their Stockholm syndrome, man. They just want to be friends with Satan, man, right? Who is their oppressor? So these kind of things gonna what do you call it? Uh uh Anger us, man. You know. Let's see here. Just want to have a look at what is this here? To make to make foolish, make boast. Where is it? Where is this thing here? Destroys reason, a wise man's reason. Destroy reason, right? Be boastful. So oppression will make a wise man turn into a boaster, a fool, man. You know? Okay, that's all I want. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 3. What is happening here? There we go. And we'll read 1 to 7. Let me get that, please, Sister Kira. Right? So what does it mean it'll make your belly bitter? It's gonna frustrate you, man, when you find out the truths in this little book. Okay? Go ahead.
1 to 7.
Mm-hmm.
Moreover, he
Sorry,
said,
sorry. And what truths? Well, you'll figure out that oppression is the thing destroying Israel, man. Oppression takes the wise mind and turns it into the mind of a fool, man. It takes an Israelite king and turns him into a beggar, man. A Edomite beggar, man. Meaning a beggar of Edomites, man. It turns him into a person that wants to be like Satan, you know? So go ahead. So we're gonna look here at this precept about the little book that makes the belly bitter. We certainly know it's the scriptures, but Ezekiel makes it even clearer. Go ahead.
Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, eat that thou findest, eat this roll, and go speak unto the house of Israel.
Pause. So is the Most High telling the man, go eat a roll of bread and then go talk to the house of Israel? Fill your belly, Ezekiel, and go talk to the house of Israel. No, that's not what it's saying, because we already see the roll is the scroll. Eat the scroll and then go speak to the house of Israel. Why he has to eat the scroll before go speaking to the house of Israel? He has to be full of the words of the Most High, and then he's gonna go tell the house of Israel the words of the Most High. Right? Go ahead.
So I opened my mouth, and he caused me to eat that roll.
Right?
And he said unto me, Son of man, cause thy belly to eat, and fill thy bowels with this roll that I give thee. Then did I eat, and
Mm-hmm.
it was in my mouth as honey for sweetness.
Mm-hmm.
And he said unto me, Son of man, go, get thee unto the house of Israel, and speak with my words unto them.
Pause. So you see what this whole thing is? Just as I said, this is what's going on. Yahweh himself says out of his mouth, go to the house of Israel and speak my words unto them. So this wasn't about eating bread, man. This was about learning the words of Yahweh. Go ahead.
For,
5.
the, for thou art not sent to For thou art not sent to a people of a strange speech and of an hard language, but to the house of Israel.
Pause. Yahweh tell Ezekiel straight up, hey, remember, um, we're coming from the book of Revelation, that's bringing us back into this whole idea of speaking uh of the eating the roll and making the belly bitter. And here when we go back and see where this was happening for the first time within the scriptures, we see a man being commanded to go speak to the house of Israel. So when Christians or literally anybody else come and tell you, oh, the gospel is for everybody. No, it's not. We're always sent to the Israelites. And who we catch, the bycatch along the way is the bycatch, man. Anybody who is wise of the strangers, they will come. Anyone who is wise and has having realized that we're speaking the truth, and they wanna secure for themselves a mercy from Yahweh, they will come, right? But we were never sent to them. We're always sent to the house of Israel. Because remember, this is the grape that the Most High has put in great labor to perfect. This is who he cares about according to his words, right? So the Most High said, I didn't send you to other people, man. Right there in verse 5. I didn't send you to people whose language you can't understand because we know the Most High mixed up the languages of the earth. He said, I sent you to the house of Israel. Now one might say, oh, well, he expanded that. Well, no, he didn't, because in the book of Revelation is sending us right back to here, and Yahweh don't change. I have to bring that out. I haven't brought that out in a minute. I change not, man. Right? Just in case anyone is guessing, Malachi 3:6, I am Yahweh, I change not. And that's why I haven't killed you Negroes yet, man. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed, man. If Yahweh used to change, he would kill every Negro already, right? Because all we keep doing is disrespecting and disobeying the Most High. So if he was a man given to emotions and tempers, he would just destroy us all. But because he keeps his word, Jacob is not consumed, right? So just wanted to point that out here, right? He sent Ezekiel and indeed sent all his prophets, preachers, and teachers throughout time to his people, right? Turn to Luke 1:68 to 72 as well. Yahawah said, visited and redeemed his people. And Matthew 15, verse 24 tells you that Yahawah came to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. The lost sheep. These are the Gentiles that the Bible keeps talking about. Okay? That Christ came to save. Okay? Jew nor Greek is the lost sheep of the house of Israel, the northern kingdom, the 10 lost tribes. Okay, so-called lost, who were never lost, they were in Asia. All right. In any case, read on. West Asia specifically, so-called Europe, that's where they were. Go ahead.
6.
Yeah.
Not to many people of a strange speech and of an hard language, whose words thou canst understand. Surely, had I sent thee to them, they would have hearkened unto thee.
Wait. What did Yahweh say? Read that again. What did he say?
Surely, had I sent thee to them, they would have hearkened unto thee.
Pause. The creator of the universe said, if I sent you to these other nations, they would have listened to you, Ezekiel. They would have obeyed you, Ezekiel, if I had sent you to them. But what happened?
But the house of Israel will not hearken unto thee, for they will not hearken unto me.
Mhm.
For all the house of Israel are impudent and hard hearted.
And hard-hearted. So the Most High said, listen, man, these Negroes ain't gonna listen to you because they won't even listen to me. The whole of them is a bag of impudent and hard-headed people, man. Just look up this word impudent. Disrespectful, man. The Most High said Israel is a bag of disrespectful and hard-headed people, man. And I don't know if you know anything about Negroes, but these are two things that Negroes are known for: disrespect and hard-headedness, right? Point being here that the little book that made the belly bitter was full of the words of the Most High, okay? And this is what Ezekiel consumed before going to preach to the nation of Israel, right? Before the Christian pastors come out here and preach to you, whether they, what happens? They go into training. They go into a seminary, or, the leader of their congregation sits with them and trains them, and they sit and they study, and then they come out and, lie to you, man. You know, they went and they ate the book of lies. You understand? Well, not that the Bible is the book of lies, but the book they put beside the Bible, the Talmud, whatever textbooks they give you in the seminary, and people's own doctrine. That's what I mean, the doctrine of men. They get trained in the book of lies, and they use the book of lies to mask the truth of the scriptures and come and lie to you, man. Okay? They ate the book. They ate the scrolls, right? Ezekiel eat the good scrolls. We Israelites, we eat the good scrolls, at least the sincere, you know. Let's hit Zechariah. We'll Zechariah 5 and we'll read 1 to 4. Let's get that, please, Ben. Right, last scripture on the little book.
Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And
Right.
he said,
Now, one second, 1 second. Right, just to show you guys that this indeed says a flying scroll, okay? So roll is just the old English word for scroll, okay? And when you see book, it's scroll, they were saying as well, because things were written on scrolls. So the verse says, and I turned, Hebrew read from right to left, and I turned and raised my eyes and saw, and there a scroll flying, all right? So understand scroll when roll is read. Go ahead. Verse 2.
and he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll, the length thereof which is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits.
Read.
Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it.
Read.
I will bring it forth, saith Yahawah of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name.
Mm-hmm.
And it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof.
Right, with the timber and stones. So what flying scroll um is going to enter the house of the, well, what flying scroll number one is a curse that go out um over the whole face of the earth. And it's a curse for not for just anybody, but for the thief, man. Okay? And for the one that swear falsely by Yahweh's name, right? What scroll is that, and how do we know? Ben, what scroll is a curse that essentially is punishing thieves and well, breakers of commandments, because to not steal is a commandment, as is to not swear falsely by the name of Yahweh, right?
Uh, Death, since it's breaking the commandments.
No, which scroll is goes out as a curse over the face of the whole earth, right? Meaning, because this scroll, when this scroll goes out as a curse, thieves are killed. Though I'll put it simply, breakers of commandments are killed because this scroll is going out over the entire earth as a curse. So what scroll is that? Brothers, if any brother has it. What scroll is a curse, essentially, upon commandment breakers? Not essentially, but that's what it's showing. The scroll is a curse to the breakers of the Most High's commandments. What scroll is that? Brothers going once, going twice. All right, sisters.
The scripture.
The scriptures, as Ben said earlier. The scriptures is the curse that goes out. Why? The most I tell you, his words are going out as a witness. The witness tells the prosecution, yeah, this was the person that did the thing, man. The scriptures is what everyone's gonna be measured against. Did you keep the laws, statutes, and commandments that actually govern the world instead of the ones that you think govern the world? Did you keep spiritual law, man? That's what you're gonna be judged by when you stop breathing, right? Or Yahawah comes back and takes his kingdom. This is the law of the kingdom, the scrolls. And the thief will be killed if he was stealing, because the scroll says don't steal. And the one that was swearing falsely by Yahweh's name is going to be killed because the scroll says don't swear falsely by Yahweh's name, and so on and so forth, right? So by these scriptures, we can prove that the little book is the scriptures, right? Let's move on to verse 11 of is this one I added? Okay, I want this one here. Let's move on to verse 11 of Revelation 10. So verse 10, I took the little book out of the angel's hand, ate it up. It was in my mouth sweet as honey. As soon as I had eaten it, it was in my belly. Eaten it, my belly was bitter. So now we understand that this means the scriptures that was in the angel's hand, he learned it. It was sweet in his mouth as honey. As we know, it's wonderful to know that you're an Israelite and that the Most High, when he cares about you and if you keep his commandments, he puts you above all nations of the earth, pursuant to Deuteronomy 28, verse 1, and all these wonderful things, and that the whole Bible and everything in it is for you, and the earth was made for your sake. It's wonderful. That's why it's sweet as honey. It sweet your belly. But when you learn, you become angry at the world, man. At the injustice in the world, man. Right? And the how overboard the sword of Yahawah, which is the oppressor, Esau, the so-called European, how hard he went against you, man. Right? Because the Mosai said the man did too much. He said, I give you in his hand for him to punish, but he went too far, man. You know? I'm gonna have to find that one for you guys so I can maybe bring it out next week, Lord willing. Remind me, please. But yeah, the Most High said the man did too much, right? And so now, I mean, here's a little taste. Amos 1:11. I mean, the man was supposed to do a little punishment. He was supposed to do a little punishment. Here is it spoken of prophetically, symbolically. I will scatter them also among the heathen, the Israelites, whom neither they nor their fathers have known, and then I will send a sword after them till I have consumed them. Okay? So the most I send the sword to kill you, yeah, but instead of just chop your neck, the sword was peeling off your skin, man. Roasting you in pots, man. Okay? Breaking your teeth to force feed you, man. Putting you in iron, what do you call it? Storage units to lie down in the hot sun and roast, man. The man was doing you wickedness. Why? Amos 1:11. This is why. This is what Yahweh says, for 3 transgressions of Edom, even for 4, I will not revoke my judgment, because he pursued his brother with the sword, the same sword the Most High sent after him. This is also backed up in uh Deuteronomy 28, verse 45 to 48, where he tells you he's going to put a yoke of iron. It tells you the oppressor would put a yoke of iron on your neck until he destroyed you. Okay? I will not revoke my judgment because Edom did what? He pursued his brother with the sword. Okay? So the so-called European pursued the so-called Negro with the sword, which is war and oppression and death, and stifled all compassion, man. You see what he did? You're supposed to give me some licks with a belt, but instead you pull out the mace and started cracking my skull, man. Hey, you've done too much. It says he stifled all compassion. His anger raged continually. His fury flamed incessantly, man. And I like how the KJV puts it. He said, he cast off all pity. So if you're an old person, a young baby, Esau didn't care, man. You're alligator bait. You understand? You're going to work the cotton fields, man. Okay? And you get too old, Esau just put a hammer to the back of your head, man, and kill you, man. You know? Or just give you the shoddy, you know? Look up how they used to execute old slaves that were no longer useful, you know? His anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever, man. And this is why Negroes still keep getting killed in the streets by Edomites, man, so-called Europeans, right? Because they hate you, man, and they've hated you for a very long time, right? Okay. Let's see what I want. All right, so yeah, the brother's belly was bitter because you lose the Stockholm syndrome and you begin to see these things for what they are. Wickedness, right? A lack of mercy, man. Perpetual hatred, man. Right? Injustice and oppression, you know. The Rastas have been singing about this stuff for years. They got that part right, you know. Their gospel is just complete foolishness, but they have that part right, right? That the Negro, especially the poor, is under extreme oppression, man. It says here in verse 11, and he said unto me, thou must prophesy again before many peoples and nations and tongues and kings. Okay, brothers, what does this mean? He said unto me, thou must prophesy again before many peoples, nations, tongues, and kings. What does this mean? Going once, going twice. Give it a guess if you think you know. All right, sisters.
Spread the truth.
Okay, where? Yeah, you're right. Where?
God
Spread the truth. No, not who. Spread the truth where?
to the
Because it
world.
says, okay, that's pretty general, right? We know the scripture, the gospel goes to the Israelites, right? But most people in the world are able to come and follow the Most High. But it's to preach the gospel to the Israelites. Okay. So you're right, right? Now there's a little bit of a misunderstanding as to exactly what's going on here, because this scripture I've seen used by Israelites to prove that there is what they call a regeneration, which means when you die, your same spirit comes back in another body, which is a false doctrine. The Most High says it's appointed to a man once to die, and after that, the judgment. King David, when his son died, that he had with Bathsheba, who he committed adultery with and stole the man's wife, he said that he will see his son, but his son cannot come back again to see him. So no spirits are coming back. We also know from the book of Second Esdras, um, there's about, I think, 100 or so verses that they've left out. I don't want to look for it right now, but we learned from that that after 7 days on earth, your spirit goes back to the Most High, and it's not coming back. Okay, so we know this is a false doctrine. So when Israelites try to use this to say, you see, John, the Most High told John that he was gonna prophesy, which is preach again in front of many people, nations, tongues, and kings. See, John's coming back to earth. So I kind of want to clear that up. First of all, John's not coming back to earth, right? And secondly, this doesn't even say before all nations, okay? It says you must prophesy again concerning many nations. That's what it actually says, okay? The translation just says before, okay, because of the 1611 English, all right? So there's a huge misunderstanding there, and this cannot be used to defend regeneration. Okay, this scripture says John still has to preach concerning many nations and what will happen to them, not in front of many nations. Okay, so let me just go to the interlinear real quick here so you guys can see. This is Revelation 10:11. It says, "And they say to me, it is necessary for you again to prophesy concerning," see that? Okay, 1909 in the Strongs. "Upon, over, at, before, across, against, among, beside, in, on the basis of." Okay. Um, let's see. In the precepts, we have two, right? About the time, upon, in, unto. Okay. The one that is dominant looks like it's two. Okay. Let's see what they have here in the Thayer's Greek. Upon, we're not prophesying upon nations. Okay. One second. Bear with me. Right? Affairs, right? Which is concerning. Concerning many nations, about the affairs. To speak upon, right? That's about affairs, man. Right? And that's the true what do you call it? That's the correct interpretation there, right? Knowing that there's no such thing as regeneration. Okay. So the man had to prophesy again concerning peoples, nations, and tongues and kings. All right. So I just wanted to clear that up. All right. Now let's go to chapter 11. Who is it to read?
I think it's Ruth's turn.
Okay. Let me bring out maybe another witness or two just to just to prove that whole thing with um John preaching concerning many nations, right? I just read Revelation, which was written by John. Okay. The book of John has been used century after century, and now for what, 2 millennia after the death of John, almost two, or maybe over two, about 2 millennia after the death of John, to teach Israelites the truth concerning the Most High. Every time I pull out John 9, verse 22 to 24, sorry, John 4, verse 22 to 24, telling people that the Israelites are supposed to teach them the gospel. This is John prophesying concerning many nations, right? This is a spiritual concept, all right? And what you will find is that a lot of the book of Revelation is spiritual concepts that you must ground in reality and be able to see where all the magnetic energy or the spiritual energy is pointing. What is this thing saying? Okay, spiritually, it actually says this, but what does this mean spiritually? And when you find out the spiritual meaning, then you can link it to reality, which I'm doing right now. So this is saying spiritually John would preach to concerning many nations and that sort of thing. Okay. Also remember, he wrote the rest of the book as well. So there were many more chapters, okay, that had to be written down by him before essentially the end would come and all these things would be fulfilled. All right. So that's what that means. It's not talking about John coming back to earth. All right. Now, you'll see some of the proof. Here, I'm gonna bring this out, and then you'll see some more proof when we go through the valley of the dry bones, and you will see the Most High telling, I believe it's Ezekiel, to preach to the dead Israelites, and they would get their life put back within their bodies after they had been preached to, thereby proving this understanding that I'm giving you guys. But I'll bring out this quick one because it just points pretty plainly to the fact that the teachings of our ancestors or their prophesyings would be used way after they were dead in order to destroy kingdoms, man, right? So let's see. I don't remember the exact scripture. So let me just see if I can find it here. Should be a pretty easy find. Yep, I knew it was Jeremiah, but not which chapter. All right, so this is Jeremiah 28, verse verse 8. The prophets that have been before me, listen to what Jeremiah says. The prophets that have been before me and before you have prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms. So we're not prophesying that, I don't know, Barbados is gonna get a new prime minister. No, we're prophesying that America is gonna burn, man. And that thermonuclear weapons will destroy America and that Russia will do it. These are events that happen on the world stage. And Jeremiah is telling you it's not new. Me and the people before me and the people, so Jeremiah is saying himself, the people before him, and Jeremiah is talking to me as well and saying the people before you, Brother Micah, and whoever is reading this, long time been prophesying against countries, great kingdoms, and such. And what we've been prophesying about, not the good things that's gonna happen to them and all, you know, they're just gonna live in peace and harmony and everything will go back to normal. That's not what we've been preaching. We've been preaching war, destruction, and disease and all manner of problems is coming to these countries, man, and these kingdoms for their wickedness, man, and for their what do you call it? Their treatment of God's people. We've been doing this, okay? So all this to prove to you guys again that John is not actually coming back to earth. It is the flying roll, the flying scroll that we eat up, these words of the Most High, right? Is what destroys these nations. And it's gonna come up right here again in Revelation chapter 11, where the Most High tell you that by our mouth we destroy many people, right? Um, uh, and not just any random people. It literally says, by our mouth, that we destroy our enemies. So we righteous destroy our enemies by the words we speak. We put up prayers against them. Okay? We preach the word of the Most High, which prophesies of their destruction. We unsettle them and make them unable to rest and sleep, right? Because of these words of the creator of the universe. Hallelujah. Okay. Just wanted to make sure that was clear. So, um, Ruth, let's get verse 1 here in Revelation 11. So moving on, we're now in Revelation 11, right? Hopefully we have a total understanding of all the things that happened in Revelation 10. We're still in the sixth trumpet. And I think by the time we get to the end of Revelation chapter 11, um, you will see which you kind of have gotten a taste of before the seventh this you'll see the end of the sixth trumpet. You'll see exactly what the end of the sixth trumpet is, and you'll be able to see exactly where we are in time, and then you can prepare yourself accordingly, right? So let's get verse 1. Ruth, let's get verse 1.
Here, and there was given me a reed like unto a rod, and the angel stood, saying, Rise, and measure the temple of Yahawah, and the altar, and them that worship therein.
All right, that's it, right? So after John is told that his words have to go out essentially throughout the world and do more work, the scene changes and the angel, or I should say the focus changes, and the angel hands him a staff and said, Rise and go and measure the temple of the Most High, also measure the altar, and also measure them that worship inside of it. So let's break this down. Rise and measure the temple, the altar, and them that worship therein. The temple that is being measured is not the actual temple in Jerusalem, but the city of Jerusalem. The temple that's being measured here in verse 1 is the city of Jerusalem. All right? Let's go to Revelation 21 to prove that. and we'll hit verse 22. Actually, we can go from verse 21. Let's get that, please, Sister Kira. '21 and 22, please, Sister Kira.
I'm and the 12 gates were 12 pearls, with each gate consisting of a single pearl. The main street of the city was pure gold, as clear as glass. But no temple in the city.
Sorry?
But I saw no temple in the city,
Mm-hmm.
because Yahawah, because Yahawah and the Lamb are its temple.
Right. So this is how we know John was not measuring the actual temple. Okay. There isn't a temple in the New Jerusalem. All right. The Most High and Yahweh Shai are the temple. Let us go up to verse 10 and we'll read to 19. Go ahead.
And he carried me away in the spirit to a mountain great and high, and showered me and
And
showed me
mhm.
the holy city of Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from Yahawah.
So stop right there. What did the angel show John? He showed him the holy city of Jerusalem. Remember, we just read there's no temple. And then when we go back, we see the brothers saw the plans for a city. Right? So when we read measure the temple, he's not measuring no temple. He's measuring the city. And I'm going to show you more scriptures to prove that. Because as we looked at in some studies before, nothing unrighteous can enter the city. So there's no need for a temple. The city is holy. Nothing unrighteous can't even enter the city. And you're about to find out, as we've looked at before, the um, dimensions of the city. The city is taking up the whole of the Middle East. The city is humongous and reaches out into so-called space, man. It's a monument, right? The land of Israel, the city of Jerusalem will be, or Yerushalayim, right? The peace of Yahawah, if I remember correctly, the translation, the peace of Yahawah will be a monument on planet Earth, man. That's what we're about to deal with, right? So go on and read and you'll see.
11.
Yeah.
Shining with the glory of Yahawah. Its radiance was like the most precious jewel, like jasper, as clear as crystal.
Mm-hmm.
The city had a great and high wall with 12 gates inscribed with the names of the 12 tribes of Israel,
Mm-hmm.
and 12 angels at the gates.
Right.
There were 3 gates on the east, 3 on the north, 3 on the south, and 3 on the west.
Right.
The wall of the city had 12 foundations, bearing the names of the 12 apostles of the Lamb.
So pause right there. What the Berean is this? Let's read that 14 again. This is absolutely hilarious. Okay. Okay. All right. Read on. Hold on a second. Just wait a second. Let me just see something here. Okay, okay. Read on.
15.
Mm-hmm.
And he and he that talked with me had a golden reed to measure the city,
Mm-hmm.
and the gates thereof, and the wall thereof.
Mm-hmm.
And the city lieth foursquare,
Mm-hmm.
and the length is as large as the breadth, and
Breadth, which is
breadth.
the width. Go ahead.
And he measured the city with the reed, 12,000 furlongs.
Which is 1,500 miles. 1,500 miles. Okay? That is the length, the width, and the height of the city. Okay? And to put that in perspective, it's about 50 miles to space, if I remember correctly. Let's just, how many miles to space? Let's type in order. Okay, Google, no problem. Yeah, 62 miles. Okay. And the city is 1,500 miles. Yeah, where we at? Go ahead. 12,000 furlongs. I think you're in 16 here.
The length and the breadth and the height of it are equal.
Say
And
that again.
the length and the breadth and the height of it are equal.
The length, the breadth, and the height of the city are equal, man. Okay, so whatever is going on out there beyond the heights of the skies, we certainly gonna know because the city is extending to that height. Okay, read on.
And he measured the wall thereof 144 cubits, according to the measure of a man, that is, of the angel.
Read.
And the building of the wall of it was of jasper, and the city was pure gold, like unto clear glass. And the foundations of the wall of the city were garnished with all manner of precious stones. The first foundation was jasper, the second and sapphire, the third uh ch-
Chalcedony.
a chalcedony, the fourth an emerald.
Right, and so on and so forth. All right. So this is again a description of the city that John was looking at in Revelation 11, verse 1. It is the description not of the temple, for there is no temple, but actually of the city. You see how if you don't read the Bible by precepts, you'll never understand this. You'll read this and you'll think, yeah, I know what's going on. And you have no clue what the hell's going on because you don't precept the Bible. You don't understand the Bible by precepts. Okay. Now, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Many a Christian, following the man-made doctrines that they've been given to defend against truth, say the Bible is not understood by precepts, and yet haven't the slightest clue how to explain to you Revelation 12 or anything else that's a dark sentence within the scriptures because they don't use precepts. But you cannot understand the deep things of the Bible without precepts. In fact, you can't understand the Bible without precepts, period. Okay? You're gonna get the cutting edge because it's a double-edged sword. You're gonna get the edge that's made to kill the insincere and the liar and the thief. That's the edge you're gonna get. Okay? You're not gonna get the edge that's meant to scratch your back when you're back scratching you, bro. Okay? Or massage your leg when it's hurting, man, from all that work, right? Or the edge to, maybe crack some walnuts to eat. That's not the edge you're gonna get. You're gonna get the edge to slice off your head, man. Because you don't know what you're doing. You don't know how to use the weapon, right? In any case, the the temple is the city. The altar being measured is the altar on which men are to bring their sacrifices to Yahweh. It's a pretty easy one, but let me just give you all the ammo so y'all could prove this. Zechariah 14, verse 20 and 21. Okay, let's get that, Ben. The altar being measured, because we read here, the altar is to be measured, and also them that dwell in. Rise, measure the temples. Okay, we dealt with the temple. The altar. Which altar? We're dealing with that. And then we're going to deal with them that worship therein as well. Because, Christianity would have you believe it's the Christian church, which is just a lie from Satan. So read, brother Ben, Zechariah 14, 20 and 21. Go ahead.
And in that day shall there be upon the bells of the horses holiness unto Yahawah, and the pots in Yahweh's house shall be like the bulls before the altar.
Okay.
Yea, every pot in Jerusalem and in Judah shall be holiness unto Yahweh of hosts, and all they that sacrifice shall come and take of them and seethe therein. And in that day shall be no more the Canaanite in the house of Yahweh of hosts.
Right. And of course, that reads Yahweh of armies. Let's pull that up in the interlinear. 14, 20 to 21. Oh, okay, that's right next to it. Great. Right. Sabawat, which is army. Army, okay? Right? Let's use this as much as possible so that people know who our God is, man. Yahweh is the God of armies. Armies. He controls all war on earth and in heaven. He's the war God, the war Lord, the God of war. It is him, Yahweh. And he sits upon the mercy seat. Okay? Because life is war, in case you didn't notice. Ants eat lizards, and eaters eat ants, fish eat worms. What do you call it? Bears eat fish. Man, it's war, man. People stick to each other and war against other nations and other tribes. Life is war. You gotta fight to stay righteous. A warlord made this reality. Okay. So let us not hide his identity, for the time is now to reveal the truth of Yahweh. It is Yahweh of armies, right? So let's kind of break this down a bit. The altar, going back to the altar. Notice it says, in that day there shall be upon the bells and horses holiness to Yahweh. The ports in Yahweh's house shall be like what? The bowls in front of the altar. Clue number one. Every port in Jerusalem and Judah shall be holiness unto Yahweh, and all they that sacrifice shall come and take of them, and sieve therein. And in that day there shall no more be the Canaanite in the house of Yahweh. So, what are we reading about here? We're reading about the bowls before the altar. Which altar? The altar of sacrifice. So when we go into what do you call it? Let me go back here to Revelation. The altar that he's telling him to measure is the altar of sacrifice. How do we know? Well, there's no temple. What altar is left? The altar of sacrifice, which is outside in the temple court. That's where it would be. But now it's just in the city. Yeah, and I'm gonna prove that to you guys because people still have to bring sacrifices to Yahweh when the holy city of Jerusalem is established. So the altar that's gonna that's everything in the place is gonna say holiness to Yahweh on it, and it's for sacrifice. And it says those that sacrifice. So we know there will be sacrifice will come and take of these things that say holiness to Yahweh, right? Before the altar, right? They'll be like the bowls before the altar. Everything, all the bells and the horses gonna say holiness. The pots in Yahweh's house shall be like the bowls before the altar. So he's saying even the thing of the lowest estate is gonna be like the bowls that's before the altar. And it says every pot in Jerusalem is gonna be holy to Yahweh of armies. Right? What does that mean? Gold, man. Holy stuff. Okay, nothing is gonna be unclean in the whole damn city. And all they that sacrifice, meaning people are coming to sacrifice, will take of them these bowls, and they're gonna sieve therein. You see, cooking is part of the sacrifice. Certain things supposed to be burned upon the altar, and certain things supposed to be cooked. And then it goes ahead and says, there shall be no more the Canaanite in the house of Yahweh of armies. Now, there's a lot of confusion. Well, I've heard some confusion concerning this business about there being no more Canaanites in the house of the Most High. Do the brothers know what that means? When it says there will be no more the Canaanite in the house of Yahweh. Going once, going twice. Sisters?
The heathens?
Well, if the kingdom is open to the heathens, how would there be no more heathens in the house of Yahweh? Also seeing that there's no actual temple, but the whole city is holy. You there?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm not sure. I'm not sure though.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. So these are the kinds of questions we gotta ask ourselves to get the meanings of these things, to get the accurate meanings of these things, right? Because we know the precept says there's gonna be heathens in the kingdom. We know Isaiah tells us that they're coming there to be servants and handmaids, the righteous of them, right? We also know, and we might read just in a second, that people got to come up and keep, heathens got to come up and keep the Feast of Tabernacles before Yahweh, right? So when it says there will no longer be a Canaanite, I have heard it said that this literally means that no Hamites will be allowed into the kingdom of heaven. I've heard that this has been preached by an Israelite, which is totally incorrect. Okay. To get the true meaning, all we got to do is jump in here and see the various meanings of this word Canaanite. And we will quickly find that this is just a mistranslation within this context. Because the word Canaanite means merchant. You'll see right here. See that? The word Canaanite, okay, has a literal meaning of merchant, man. Right? So when it says there will be no more Canaanite in the temple of the Most High, now you can tell me, Sister Rach, what that's saying and how you know for sure. Go ahead, sis.
So I guess no more selling, no more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And how you know then?
Um well, you said the word Canaanite means like trafficker or merchant, right? So
Yeah.
and
Well, by the precept, I'm saying, how do we know? How can we prove that this is correct by the precepts?
oh. Mm,
Is there any situation where merchandise was being...
yeah.
Okay, talk to me.
Yeah, so I remember I was gonna bring that up as well. When Christ was in the temple, there was people selling
That's right.
stuff and he got angry and turned over
Yep.
the tables and stuff.
Yep. So this literally links up directly with Yahweh Shai mashing up the merchant tables in the New Testament, right? So that's what this means in Zechariah when it says there's not going to be a Canaanite anymore in the house of Yahweh. This should be translated in English as merchant. Okay? Everything's going to be holy and no more merchant is coming into the Most High city to sell a damn thing. Okay? That's not going to be happening no more. And the next scripture is going to prove that because they can't even get past the gate. Right? Let's go there real quick. I think did I read 16? I think it's in the same chapter. So, Ben, let's get 16 and 17. Thank you, Sister Rachel. Ben, let's get 16 and 17.
And it shall come to pass that everyone that is left of all the nations which came against Jerusalem shall even go up from year to year to worship the King, Yahawah of armies, and to keep the Feast of Tabernacles.
Yeah, I have to smile, yo, because every time I hear Yahweh of armies, I just like, yes, I'm a daddy. Yes, my papa is the papa of armies, yo. Don't mess with God. You're gonna dead, fam. Anyways, 17.
And it shall be that whoso will not come up of all the families of the earth unto Jerusalem to worship Yahweh, Yahweh of armies, even upon them shall be no rain.
Right. So you have to come up. You have to come up to keep the Feast of Tabernacles, right? Uh okay. Mm, and let's go to Leviticus 23. Again, we're looking at the altar that's being measured, right? That is the altar of sacrifice, all right? let us go to Leviticus 23, get another precept on that. Leviticus 23. Let me see. Yeah. Man, I don't even think we're gonna get to verse 2. Let's see. Uh, we'll jump down to verse 38, 33. Let's get that, please, Sister Kira, from 33 to 38, please.
And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, The 15th day of the 7th month shall be the feast of tabernacles, for 7 days unto Yahweh. On the first day shall be an unholy covenant. Ye shall do no servile work then.
Yeah,
Therein.
convocation. It said
Sorry,
holy convocation. Go ahead.
convocation.
Yeah.
7 days ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto Yahweh.
Mm-hmm.
On the 8th day shall be an holy convocation unto you. And ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto Yahweh. It is a solemn assembly, and ye shall do no servile work therein.
Yeah, pause. So remember, the nations are supposed to come and keep the Feast of Tabernacle. And part of keeping the Feast of Tabernacle is that an offering must be made by fire unto Yahweh. And if you know anything about the history of the scriptures, the offering is made upon the altar. So this is why I brought you guys here to see that the altar it's talking about in the book of Revelation is the altar of sacrifice, the same one on which offerings are offered. Okay, that's the altar. All right, so finish this up and then we'll move on.
These are the feast of Yahweh, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations, to offer an offering made by fire unto Yahweh, a burnt offering and a meat offering, a sacrifice and drink offerings, everything upon his day.
Mm-hmm.
Beside Sabbaths of Yahweh, and beside your gifts, and beside all your vows, and beside all your freewill offerings, which ye give unto Yahweh.
Right. So again, when they come up for the Feast of Tabernacles, they have to make offerings made by fire, and it literally tells us they have to make a sacrifice. And previously in Zechariah, it tells you that everybody who sacrifices um, in the kingdom of the Most High, uh, they will be using these super holy vessels. So sacrifices are made. Everyone who sacrifices is using the holy vessels. You go back to Revelation, it's talking about the altar. There is no temple. So the only altar is the altar of sacrifice. All right. So hopefully that's clear for everybody. Now let's look at the last part of this verse, and I think that's all we'll have time for today. So it says, them that worship therein. Let's go back to Revelation. Is Amari available to read? And does he want to read something today?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Okay, read verse 1, please.
Which Revelation 11?
Yeah.
Liberation 11?
Yeah, verse 1.
You could hold it in your hand.
11. 11. And there was given me
angel stood saying, "Rise and
Oh, you missed the
measure."
read part. They was giving me a read.
Yeah, you missed out a part. Start over here.
Yeah, you can use your
And
finger to point if it's gonna help you follow the words better.
and kings.
Okay, start over from here.
And there was
Take it down. Mhm.
given me a reed
Mm-hmm.
like unto a rod.
Mm-hmm.
And the angel stood saying, "Rise and measure the temple of God,
Yeah.
and the altar,
Mm-hmm.
the
And
no,
here.
oh, and
Mm-hmm.
them that worship therein."
All praises, right?
Praises.
So this is the last part we're looking at. And them that worship therein. Right? And we know Christianity will tell you that's everyone. Well, let's see what the Bible tells us, right? Let's go to Revelation 21. Let's just duplicate this here. Not only Christianity, but literally every religion will tell you it's all about everybody. Well, the Creator never said that, right? That's a devil doctrine, man, which is a deceptive doctrine, a doctrine of deceivers, right? Spiritually wicked people, right? That you're following, you know, perhaps unbeknownst to you, right? Let's get this here, verse 12, please, Ruth.
And had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates. At the gates 12 angels, and names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
Right. So them that worship therein are the 12 tribes of the children of Israel, right? And if we go to Isaiah 14 and read verse 1 and 2, they're servants and handmaids as well, who are the faithful heathens. But there's no Edomites in there. There is no oppressor in the kingdom of heaven, man. Okay? Because according to Daniel 9:26, these are the people of Satan. Okay? Um, let's pull up two or three more witnesses on this, and this will be it.
You want to know
Uh,
what?
Revelation 7.
Oh,
See
Revelation
here.
chapter. Oh,
I can hear you there, Amari. Let's get this as well, 1 to 4. Let's get that, please, Ruth. So the point,
and
sorry, so the point here being the inhabitants are a very specific people. So you see already it said it's the children of Israel. Go ahead.
and after these things, I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth,
Mm-hmm.
holding the 4 winds of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
The wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
You're reading until verse 4.
oh. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God.
Mm-hmm.
And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea,
Mm-hmm.
saying, Hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our gods in their forehead, of our
Right,
God in their foreheads.
right. So the angel said, don't do any harm to anywhere on earth until we've sealed, which is woken up, revealed, okay, the servants of the Most High in their foreheads, until we have given them the new mind, the mind of Christ, until we've woken them up to righteousness and their true identity. Okay? Don't destroy the earth yet. Okay? Until this is done. Okay? Until we've sealed the servants of the Most High in their forehead. Who are these servants? Go ahead.
And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel.
So this is who the angel was waiting for the children of Israel to receive the seal of the Most High, the literal children of Israel. And then he goes and tells you it's 12,000 from each tribe. Okay, now the ones that have received the seal are the leaders. This is why it's 12,000 leaders from each tribe. And once he has them, then pursuant to Revelation 7:9 and 5:9, um, uh, John catches the vision of everybody else coming with the leaders of the children of Israel. All right. So the leaders of the children of Israel are 12,000 from each tribe. And the rest of the people is the Israelites, the rest of the Israelites mixed with the heathens who actually keep the commandments according to this true gospel and not Christianity and other religion and philosophy. All right. So let's go to Ezekiel 47. So we
So,
can sorry, go ahead.
sorry, are the leaders also like the teachers? Is that,
Yeah,
yeah, okay.
yeah. Ezekiel. Yeah, that's basically, sorry if I didn't say that word, but that's basically what I was alluding to, right? Ezekiel 47. And we'll read 22 to 20. Why did I put 24 here? Is that a typo? Okay, so let's see here. Um, Amari, did you want to touch this one as well? Did you want to read this one as well, Amari?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
You can
You
read.
want to read verse 22 and verse 23
Yeah,
Yes.
you can read it from on the screen. Where? See that?
from here.
Okay, so, and shall it come to pass
Mm-hmm.
that ye shall divide it by a lot? Can you move the screen a little bit?
Oh, you know, you
Down
can-
or
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry. My mom showed me.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Okay.
It by a lot for an in inheritance
Inheritance.
Mm-hmm.
unto you and to the strangers that sojourn
Mm-hmm.
among you.
It's sojourn, which means the strangers that are living among you. Go ahead.
Ah, which shall beget
beget.
beget children among you,
Mm-hmm.
and they shall be unto you as born in the country among the children of Israel.
Read.
They shall have inheritance inheritance
Mm-hmm.
with you among the tribes of Israel.
Pause. So if we go from 21, the Mosai is saying that once he gives the land of Israel to the Israelites, they have to divide the land. And then he says, you're gonna divide it by lot, okay? Which means somebody that he choose is gonna say, okay, well, you take this, you take that, you take this, you take that, all right? Um, and it was also divided according to need. So if you had a very big tribe, you'd get a big piece of land. If you had a small tribe, you'd get a smaller piece of land. So the Mosai said the Israelites have to divide the land. Okay, they're the ones doing the division of the land, and they have to divide it amongst themselves and also amongst the strangers that are among them. Why is this significant? You can't come live amongst Israel as a lawless person. You have to be keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High to be in that land. So the Most High said, you see these strangers, if they're keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments, give them land in Israel as well. So they have an inheritance. See? So spiritually, in the kingdom of heaven, it's going to work the exact same way. Because remember, Malachi 3:6, I am Yahawah, I change not. The children of Israel will still divide the land to the faithful heathens. Okay? And then he says, so you have to give them land, all right? And you have to treat them as Israelites born in the country. They can't be treated as other, like when they're not following the Most High. You got to treat them as your brother and sister, okay? And give them land. Then in verse 23, um, he reveals a secret which no Christian can answer when faced with the names on the gates of the kingdom of heaven. When you ask them, how are Baptists and what do you call it? And Pentecostals and Catholics and Lutherans and all of, how are you guys getting into the kingdom of heaven when there's 12 angels guarding 12 gates and the gates have names on it? How are you getting in when those gates are named? They'll start dancing the jig and doing backflips, man, and intellectually trying to stretch. And telling you basically Israel is no more, so this is talking about the church, which is absolute madness, right? Here is the precept that shows you exactly how people that are non-Israelites are going to get into the kingdom of the Most High. Okay, the faithful who are faithful from this time, right? And it's in verse 23. Go ahead.
Okay. And it shall come to pass
Mm-hmm.
that in what tribe
The stranger.
the stranger joineth,
Mm-hmm. Sojourneth, yeah.
there shall ye give him his inheritance,
Inheritance.
inheritance, saith the Lord Yahawah.
Yeah. You see that?
Yeah.
So how are they gonna get their inheritance? The children of Israel gonna give it to them according to the tribe that they served with. Wherever they lived, this is where they're going to get their inheritance. So if you were jamming with Benjamin during these times and keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments, you're gonna get land in Benjamin, and so on and so forth. Judah and Zebulun and Gad and so on and so forth. Okay, that's how you're going to get your inheritance. The children of Israel that you served, you live in their land. Okay, and that's the precept for Revelation 11, where it talks about the gates. But what do you call it? So uh them that worship in this particular temple are the children of Israel, are the faithful heathen who have what do you call it, served and sojourned with the children of Israel. And I have a whole study on this. I have a whole study series on this. I'll put it in the description of this video so you can see, right? And Esau is excluded. Now I want to bring out this other scripture I have because I'm not quite sure what's in there. And then I'm going to show you guys maybe two witnesses to show you that Esau is excluded. I kind of mentioned them already, but I didn't go there. I mean, Daniel 9:26 tells you these are the people of Satan. You can't save Satan. Like, Satan is going to be destroyed. Um, but maybe I'll bring out Daniel 8. Maybe I'll bring out what do you call it? I'll probably bring out Joel 9:24, and bring out Romans 9:13. I'll probably bring those out and that'll be it. Right? So let's go to Isaiah 56, verse 6 to 7. So those that worship therein, we see that it's heathen nations who have made themselves subservient to the Israelites spiritually, learning under the tutelage of the Israelite and keeping the Most High's commandments and serving the Israelites, right? Um, we've seen that the Israelites are also going to be in there. Let's pull up this Isaiah, and then we'll see who's excluded. Because that's the one thing your religion and philosophy will not tell you, is that the Most High has excluded certain people from his kingdom, right? Satan is excluded, right? Man, is that Isaiah 26 and 10? I think I have something in Isaiah 26 and 10 as well, which shows you that even when everyone's doing righteousness, there is one set of people that will certainly not do it. And it's the oppressor, man, the so-called European, and that's why the Most High will annihilate him, right? So let's get this Isaiah 56, verse 6 to 7. Let's get this, please, Ben.
Also the sons of the stranger that join themselves to Yahawah to serve him, and to love the name of Yahawah, to be his servants, everyone that keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it, and taketh hold of my covenant.
Go ahead.
Even them will I bring to the holy mountain, and make them joyful in the house of prayer. Their burnt offerings and their sacrifices shall be accepted upon mine altar. For mine house shall be called an house of prayer for all people.
Hallelujah. So this is inadvertently even another precept for the altar, being the altar of sacrifice, right? Because right here it tells you that their sacrifices will be accepted upon the altar, okay, in the Most High's kingdom, okay? And there's no temple, but this shows there certainly is an altar, because his house is going to be called the house of prayer for all people. And when you see all in the Bible, don't get tricked, okay? Let's see, Isaiah chapter 56 and 7. Because what they will not tell you is all always means all to him whom it pertains. It doesn't mean everybody. In the context of the scriptures, all always means all to whom it pertains. Let's see if they're gonna note it here, because I've seen it. in quite a few places before. All nations, and go. All right, so they have here in your lexical summary all, every, whole, entire, total. Okay, cool, no problem. If we keep reading, all, everyone, place, thing, properly, the whole, hence all, any, every, singular, all manner, all together, enough, as many, whosoever, whole, see, all, everywhere, all through, all concerning. This is not what I want. Where is it? Mm-hmm. Bear with me. Bear with me. One second. Where is it? Just bear with me here. Oh, Okay, I'm gonna pull it up in the New Testament because they tell you straight up. Let's see. Let's pull up all men. Every whole, ex daily. There we go. All right. Each and every means all in the sense of each and every part that applies. Okay. So it has to apply, man. Right. And this is what they won't tell you guys in the churches and schools. When it says all in the scriptures, it doesn't just mean everybody. It means all to which it applies. This is why the scriptures are understood by precepts, because this thing is written in a mystery. So when we go here and we see all, my house shall be called an house of prayer for all people, it's all people to whom it applies. Now, is there anyone to whom it does not apply? This is the question. And the answer is, according to the precepts, certainly. Okay. So we know who's in the temple, right? Almost everyone. And let's see who's not in the temple, right? Let's go to Romans. Just bear with me. This is pretty much the last couple scriptures. Romans 9:13. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. Right? So the Most High hates the Edomite, right? Who is the Edomite? Well, according to First Maccabees chapter 5 and verse 3, the Edomite is the people that the Maccabeans were fighting the entire time. in the Maccabean revolt, right? And history tells us that in the Maccabean revolt, the Israelites were fighting against the Greeks, and the Greeks are the ancestors of the so-called Europeans. Now, why is this not showing up? Judas waged war on the descendants of Esau in Idumea at Ecbatane because they kept ambushing the Israelites, man. He dealt them a heavy blow, humbling them and taking their goods. It says here he was fighting against the descendants of Esau, and his whole war was against the Greeks. Okay? So who are the Greeks? The Greeks are the descendants of Esau. First Maccabees 161 is another witness to this. What do we have here? They built up also at that time Mount Zion with high walls. That's Jerusalem. And strong towers round about, lest the Gentiles should at any time come and tread it down as they had before. And he placed a garrison there to keep it and fortified to secure Bethsura, that the people might have a defense against Idumea, man. That's the Edomites. And when you ask history, who were the Maccabees fighting in the Maccabean revolt? History tells you they were fighting the Seleucid Empire, which is a Hellenistic Greek kingdom, which the Most High tells you when they started ruling in First Maccabees chapter 1. If you read from verse 9 on down, it tells you when they started ruling, evil was multiplied on earth. So who's excluded? The man the Most High hates, Esau. Let's jump to Obadiah 1. Let us see the fate of Esau. The house of Jacob shall be a fire, the house of Joseph a flame, the house of Esau for stubble. They shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau. Because brother Micah spoke it? No, for Yahawah have spoken it. The Edomites, the oppressor, at the end of time, at the end of his kingdom, will be, well, at the end of his slavery after his kingdom falls, will be annihilated by the Most High. Okay? The memory of him will be removed from mankind because he has ruled the world pursuant to 2nd Ezra chapter 12 with much wicked oppression. Also pursuant to First Maccabees, the first chapter, verse 9 to 12, as I told you. You could even start in verse 7. I think I have one more on that. The Most High tells you in verse 26. Oh, let's see who the wicked is before I bring this out. Because Yahweh tells you the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He tells you the wicked rule the earth right now. And then he tells you that they covered the faces of the judges thereof. What does that mean? It means they lied about this. Revelation 13:6. The beast was given a mouth to speak arrogant and blasphemous words and authority to act for 42 months. The beast opened his mouth to speak blasphemies, which is lies, family, okay, against Yahweh, to slander or lie about his name. So any name you got from your oppressor concerning God, that's not his name. Or his son's name, that's not his name. He also lied about his tabernacle, his church. He told you it's the Christian church when it's the 12 tribes of Israel. He also lied about those that dwell in heaven, telling you the angels are a bag of Edomites, man. A bag of so-called Europeans, man. And naked little babies. The scriptures tell us that's all a lie. Okay? So knowing that this man lied about all these things, when we pull up to see who is the wicked of the earth, it points back in the same direction, right? Telling you the earth is given into his hand. And I believe last week we looked at the fact that Satan gave the earth to whoever worshipped him, man. So whoever is ruling the earth right now, they got it because they worship Satan. And we know the oppressor, the so-called European, is the one that rules the earth today through NATO and BRICS, the left and right wing of the eagle, the Eastern and Western Roman Empire. So there's no guessing. We don't have to guess. We know these things to be true, right? Sorry, not sorry, but the matrix has to fall. It says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, man. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. We just read about it. He lied about everything that had to do with God. The judges of the earth are the rulers of the earth, or the gods with a small g of the earth. The wicked hid these people. They went into Europe and they used iconoclasm to whitewash the black images of royalty that was there before they kicked us out of Spain and Portugal in 1492 and sent us into the transatlantic slave trade, man. Right? Bubbled it little by little, and then it kicked off basically 1515 onwards, you know, and really solidified 1619 onwards, right? But 1515, 1524, 1492, they were selling us already, man, in smaller numbers, you know, and robbing us of our riches and sending us to the western coast of Africa. I got entire studies about this. I'll throw one of them in the video description. In any case, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. And the Most High said, if it's not Esau, if it's not the so-called European, if it's not the oppressor, where is the man doing these things? And who is the man doing these things? So you got to answer that for me, if it's not this guy, right, that the scriptures are talking about. Lastly, I mean, I got two more real quick. Watch where the Most High tells you that this guy opposed, in case you're wondering who it was, and I think I brought it out last week, but we'll touch it again. It's a good one. The man of sin, the Most High describes him here and tells you that this guy, look what he does. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come. What day? The day that Yahawah shall take his kingdom back, except there come a falling away first, right? Meaning the Israelites gonna forget who they are and stop keeping the commandments. And that man of sin be revealed, man. There's a man of sin, family. He is the son of perdition, or the son of destruction. How do we describe this guy? He opposes and exalts himself above all that is called God. So any God you have, he said he's above that God. Anything you worship, he said he's above that. And then he positioned himself in the temple of the Most High, calling himself a Jew, and he's not, Revelation 2:9 and 3:9. Okay? Forming the Catholic Church, which is the Christian church, and telling you he is Christ on earth. Okay? He will sit in the temple of the Most High. He will pretend to be the children of Israel as well, right? Showing himself that he's God, man. So you're going to sit in the Most High temple and tell you he is God. And there's nobody else on earth except the oppressor that put up the false image of Christ as himself, man. And he said, remember ye not that when I was with you, I told you these things? So Yahweh wasn't shy about these things, man. So the person that exalt himself and oppose every man's God and tell you he is God, that's the man of sin. That is the son of destruction. That is the wicked. That is the devil and Satan, which just means enemy in the flesh to represent the spiritual demon Satan. Last scripture. Let favor be showed to the wicked, yet he will not learn righteousness. See, Yahawah is completely righteous. And no man can say anything to the Most High about his works because all his works are for good reason. It says, let favor be showed to the wicked, right? Even if you showed favor to the Edomite, the oppressor, he's not going to learn righteousness with it. The Most High said, in the land of uprightness, which I just showed you guys, the entire land of Israel is going to be the land of uprightness. It's 1,500 miles squared. That's the size of the place. What's that, 225 million square miles, man? And that's not even including the height, right? It says, in the land of uprightness, this man will still deal unjustly, man. And he will not behold the majesty of Yahawah, man. So when Yahawah is in this guy's face, pursuant to Daniel 8:18-24, he's still gonna fight him. And he's the last one that's gonna rally the world to try to destroy Jerusalem, saying, oh, they have a weakness, let's go. And then he will be annihilated after he has built the place in slavery for 1,000 years. I don't know what else to tell you guys. So he is excluded from the temple of the Most High. Straight up like that, right? And with that, all praises to the Most High. All ye Negroes, you must return to the law, statutes, and commandments of your God, or you will perish. All ye heathens, you must follow the children of Israel, the true, sincere, righteous ones, of which I am one of them, and learn the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, spiritual law, if you are to live even forevermore, if you are to attain the mercy of the Most High God, right? It's not in religion, it's not in philosophy, it's in the spiritual laws of God, who he gave to the Negro to teach to who want it, okay? Of his people and of other nations. And to the oppressor, it's hopeless for you. You had your fun later, right? So that's it. I'm gonna cut off the live, and then we'll just pray out and we'll be done after we answer any questions that people have. All right. Let's see.